Hello, and welcome back to the Wellness and Career Preparation for the Dancer webinar series. This is our final webinar class for the fall semester. Make sure to come back for the spring semester because we will have some more. I'm Danashanti Harter Johnson, and I will be leading us through relaxation practices to invigorate the soul in dance. This is a perfect webinar for the very last week of school, for your finals week. Hopefully, we'll take you through some very light stretching. This stretching is not meant to increase your flexibility, but instead to help relieve some stress, to get the muscles feeling a little bit more comfortable. And the idea behind this stretching is just to feel a sense of relaxation. These are a great set of stretches to do when you are just feeling like you need a little bit of extra stretch. You don't need to warm up beforehand. They're all very, very light. They're very simple. And they're also sort of the beginner level of things because they are just meant to be for relaxation and for stress management. So that's what we're going to start with, is a little bit of stretching. And then I'll take you through a couple of ways of honing in and relaxing. So using some energy techniques and thinking about how does one center oneself. So again, this is a great opportunity for this finals week to sort of bring yourself back and help yourself relax and help yourself launch yourself through the last little bit of school. But you really can, again, use these for any time of the year. They're great practice for helping you kind of center yourself and get yourself back to feeling rejuvenated and really trying to get the most out of your inner self. How can you get that to come forward in your dance classes? So I will start us with taking us through some of the stretches. The first thing that we'll do is, if you have a chair or a couch or something, you're going to go ahead and sit on the couch. And part of the reason we're going to do this is because we're going to, again, start very simple, very easy, very light. And one of the things we're going to do is curve the back. And we're going to do that go ahead and in a seated position versus on the floor. Go ahead and find your space where you're seated. And you're going to take one foot across the other. Now it is possible to do this one with on the floor. So if you wish to do this on the floor, there is just one stretch that you're probably going to do in an actual seated position. So you're going to take one foot and put it on top of the other leg. In this position, you want to still continue to feel your core. You want to try to feel that there's also a relaxation to what you're doing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to help bring that foot to an extension. So all you're doing is pressing that foot into a point or into an extended position. You're pressing the toes, helping the toes along towards the sole of the foot. And you just feel that for a few moments. And then we're going to do the reverse of that. And we're going to take those toes in a flexion. And I'm doing both the toes. And then I'm pressing to the full foot. I'm making sure that my palm is in line with the ball of my foot. I'm also making sure that my ankle isn't sort of twisting in a different direction, but instead I'm really pressing toward it. I'm going to switch feet for the other side. And I'm going to take on the top side and just help that extension in the ankle and in the toes. And we're going to reverse that into flexion. I'm taking it first into the toes and then into the full foot. And I'll go back to the first leg. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my thumb on the pad of my big toe. And then I'm going to wrap my hand around the top of my toes. what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pointing, and I'm going to start gently rotating upward and along that sort of curving twist. And I'm doing this as a toe extender, toe extensor. And I'm going to take the thumb on top of the big toe, and I'm going to wrap my fingers around, and I'm going to do essentially the same thing, but in the opposite, so the flexors, and I'm going to still feel that little curve. It's a little bit of a twist, but I'm trying to feel the flexion of my toes along with that flexion and extensor. And I'm going to take my other leg. So thumb on the pad of the big toe, and then wrap those others. I'm giving a little bit of support to my ankle as I do this. So as I go, I'm feeling that the extension, and then the bit of a twist. And again, all these are very light and easy, so you don't have to push too hard. Thumb on the top of the toes, and then I'm going to take my hand around and go into that flexion, and then twist from there. And again, very light, very easy. If anything feels like you need to back away, please do that. So from here, what we're going to do is we've given a little bit of a stretch to our toes and to our ankles. Now we're going to go ahead and move into our neck. Our neck holds a lot of tension, especially in times of extra studying or stress, right? So this is a good stretch for here. So we're going to wrap our hands behind our head, and we're going to gently pull our chin to our chest. And we'll come up from there. And you're going to take one hand across the crown of the head, and you're going to reach that ear towards your shoulder. You can start here, and then you can also gently rotation and bring it back. And you can do that again. Rotate and bring it back, and release that from there. Then we'll do the other side. So ear towards shoulder. You're thinking about your ear going towards your shoulder. And as you take the rotation, you're thinking about your chin dropping down into your chest and back, and your chin towards your chest and back and up. And we're going to do the same thing with all extensions. So that was our, with flexion. So we did the extension. We're going to take our hands, we're going to interlace them, and we're just going to very gently press backward. Now, as dancers, sometimes we might let that go too far. We do want to just feel just a little bit of a press and keeping that spine elongated ever so slightly. You can see in the side view, I'm not letting my head go all the way back, but I am letting those neck muscles and along the front get that flexion. So you're going to take, again, that side, and this time, as you take that rotation, you're going to feel the rotation going, twisting towards the sky and back. Twist towards the sky and back. And again, being very gentle. Another side. Very, very gentle with the stretching. It's all about relaxing and letting your muscles feel just a little bit of refreshing. And back to the side. Up to the sky. And back to the side. And up. We're going to let the body roll through and hang over our legs. So as we roll, feeling that whole body, we're feeling a low trunk extension. And then you're going to take it over to a lateral. So you're going to go over to one side and you're feeling a lateral. And you can walk your hands across, or if your hands aren't touching the ground, you can just kind of feel your body go across to the other side. Yeah, come back towards your middle and up. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go ahead and have a seat on the floor. Okay, so on the floor, we're going to start with some wrist and finger stretches. So what we're going to first do is we're going to do an elbow wrist flexor. So you're going to take your arm straight out. You're taking that and you're going to press one hand into the palm of your other hand. And you're feeling that flexion of your wrist and your elbow. And we're going to do the opposite of that. So turn it over. And again, then one hand pressing into the top side of the hand. And this is your wrist extensor. And we'll do the other hand the same way. So turning it over, fingers towards the floor. And we'll turn it over for your extensor. Now we'll do the same thing for our fingers. So we can just press this across. Start thinking about finger flexion. This is a really good one if you've been typing a lot. And extension. And the other hand, flexion. And extension. Okay, now along with that, we're going to feel our shoulder girdle area. So we're going to feel, we're going to take our arms, and we're going to just cross them over, feeling our scaps pressing down and feeling that back opening up. If you want to get a little bit more of an intense stretch on this one, you can add the neck and feel that same neck extensor. You can even kind of roll. And return. Now you put your hands behind you. What we're going to do with this one is as we lean back into our arms, still letting your shoulders kind of come up with you, you're going to press them down in towards the floor, and you're going to feel that pressing open. You're going to try to feel that openness of the chest, pressing down through those arms as if your energy is going from your neck through your shoulders down through your palms. Good. Another one you're going to do is hands on the top of your head, and all you're going to feel is your elbows opening up. So you're going to keep trying to engage your core. So you don't want to let yourself kind of open as you go, but you are going to feel that connection of your back. So again, you're opening and feeling those shoulders, your shoulder flexor. And relax that. Then you can take one arm across. Instead of going over the top part of our shoulders, what we're going to do is we're going to put it low. And we're actually going to just feel like a little pull across with the other side. And we'll do the other arm same way. And relax it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay down on the floor. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring one foot in. You're going to pull your knee in, and we're continuing to lengthen the other leg, and we're checking with our core. But we really are having this be a relaxed position. We're not trying to pull so much that we're getting a nice big stretch in the hamstring or anything. It's about your hips and your openness of those hips. And we'll switch the legs. And we'll switch back to the first leg. One thing to remember is keep breathing, okay? Keep feeling, especially in a nice relaxing stretch like this, we really can feel that breath of just a relaxed breath, but making sure that you are feeling that. Okay, so on this side, what we're going to do is we're going to just take a really gentle circle around. You can go outward first and then inward, or you can go inward first and then outward. But just do a little gentle circle and reverse your circle from what it was. And from here, we're going to open up. And again, very gently, make sure that it doesn't sort of come with you, that you are keeping that. It's just a gentle open. And cross. And again, we're just keeping those hips down, so we won't shift the hips off the floor at all. The hips stay on the floor. And other leg. And again, just a little circle. It's a tiny circle. It's really, really, really tiny. Either outward or inward, and reverse whatever that circle was. And you feel that openness. Again, keeping both hips on the floor. You see that my hips have not changed at all. Are staying straight towards the ceiling. And same thing. Hips haven't moved at all. So all I'm doing is taking it across just gently. It's about the hips in this case. And release it. So from here, what you're going to do is you have an option. You can either roll onto your side for this one, or you can do a seated version, and I'll show you both. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we'll pull that leg back and just gently pulling toward your back, but thinking about that it's not going to touch your glutes. You're really trying to just think about the lengthening and the reaching toward your back. Again, keep checking in with your low abdominals and your core, making sure it's engaged. and we'll lengthen that. So I'm going to hop up and show you another version of that if that one feels a little bit too difficult to do. So you can do this seated. One leg is going to drape down from wherever your seated position is and feel nice and lengthened up. And then if you're in that seated position, you can switch to the other side. Something to think about when you're stretching is that you may feel something either less or more or different on each side. So one thing to do is have very small adjustments. Even just engaging your core slightly differently might change the way that your stretches. So in that case, as I had one side, the more I engaged my core, then I felt that length a little bit more, but I might need to have it be a little bit more forward or just a little bit more back. So just a teeny tiny bit. Usually they're very small adjustments and usually it comes from your core. So you can kind of check in with that and see, even a little rotation outward, a little rotation inward, just be very gentle and take your time with how you make that little adjustment. Okay, so from that, lying knee extensor from the first side, we're going to go ahead and roll on to our stomach, and we're going to just gently press up to and we'll come down, and we're going to go to the other side here for that lying knee extensor. Actually move over a little bit more so you can actually see it. And I will go ahead and keep my back to you so you can kind of see what's happening here as that leg is up. And lengthen it out. Again, back onto your stomach. Just a low trunk flexion. And down. Then we're going to push back your hips going towards your feet. You're going to lengthen. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to take our arms and we're going to make a little right angle. And then you can actually do this standing or on a table also, but this is another way. And since we're already on the floor, I figured that this was an easy way to do it. So we're going to just push forward ever so slightly to get into those triceps and the anacolis. And back from there. So it's just real gentle stretching. Hopefully that makes your body feel a little bit more enlivened and relaxed. So hopefully that's a nice way to take your body through some nice relaxing stretches. Again, really check in. It's meant to be relaxing. They're not meant to be big giant stretches where you're trying to feel flexibility or any of those things. It's about the calm, about the relaxed. Take your time with them. Try to be equal on both sides when you're going through them, and keep feeling your breath. Make sure that throughout the whole thing that you're feeling that breath and feeling that engagement of your breath. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go through a series of relaxation techniques. So one of them is just a resting position, and it's a really great way of kind of refocusing yourself, bringing yourself back into what you need for the day. This is a great thing if you're between classes or if you're at the end of your classes and you just need a little energy. It's to bring you back. It's not necessarily a sleeping thing, but it is a resting position. So on your back, knees up, you're going to take your heels outward and you're going to take your knees towards each other. So they're actually going to touch and relax towards each other, and those heels are going to go out. That helps open up the pelvis. Then your arms can have a variety of positions. You can take them out to the side. You can even put palms up. It does make a difference. You kind of feel which one you like better. Or you can wrap your arms across and you kind of pull them up towards your head. You can unfold them. And if you go back into this position, also switch which arm was on top. If you're in this one. And relax and open. So again, this one is a great position to just kind of feel your breath and listen to what's happening. Check in with yourself. Just feel the calming sense, the bringing everything back in to where you are so you can center yourself to continue with whatever it is that you're doing for your day. Okay, I'm going to take you through another relaxation technique. And one of the things with this one is I'm going to combine two, but they could actually be individual. So one of them is imagining yourself someplace, really seeing yourself. And this one is a really good one for the idea of invigorating your soul. You can picture yourself doing something that you wanted to do. You can imagine yourself doing something that you've been working towards and having it be a success. Or you can also just experience yourself doing something that you love to do. So any of those things are something that you can imagine. And it's about focusing yourself in that moment and feeling the sense of the visual in your mind. So visualizing how you feel about yourself and trying to imagine it. If it helps you to have a faceless dancer, that is also absolutely wonderful. Whatever is going to help you feel that sense is you're experiencing this fullness and this life and something that can help you feel that motivation to keep going and to feel like you're accomplishing something really wonderful. The other thing that you can do separate is the little parts that I'm going to take you through on your body. You can do that without imagining yourself somewhere or experiencing something. You can do just the through the body tension and relaxation on its own. So both of these things can be completely separate, or you can bring them together as we will do in this one. One of the things you're going to do is basically just lie down on your floor or wherever is convenient for you to lie down. And I will start talking you through this experience. So I'll show you kind of where we are, but I'll get back up and I'll be here for you. But what you're going to do is you're going to lie down on the floor. It's a nice relaxed position. Just feel that fullness of the body in that position. So what you're going to do is you're going to think about closing your eyes and centering in towards your core. Okay? Take your mind's eye into your core. And I want you to feel that there's a little bit of a ball of energy in your core. That little ball of energy is going to move around in your body. And what it's going to do is it's going to go to different parts of your muscles where it'll tighten and help release some of those muscles. So that energy is going to make its way down the legs, and it's going to start off with your toes. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your toes, and your toes are going to get as tight as they can possibly get. So you're tightening up your toes, tight, 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 tight. And all that energy that you just had in your core has moved down, and all of it is in your toes. And when you release your toes, that energy is going to become a relaxed energy where there's no more tension. So as you release your toes, they completely relax. And it's as if everything is fallen off your toes, where it's just left just the bones with no tension involved. Now that little ball of energy is going to move into your ankles. And now your ankles are going to tighten up as much as they can. They're going to tighten, 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 tighten. You're going to feel all that stuff that you've got with you. Everything that you've taken through this whole semester. And it's going to help it fall away and only leave positive, full, complete, relaxed energy. Just a little ball of light. Now you're going to move up into your calves. So I'm going to just show you what I'm thinking about. We're thinking about all the muscles that are in here in your calves. You're staying on your back and you're staying relaxed. These muscles in here are going to tighten up as much as they possibly can. And you are going to isolate that. So it might not make anything else move, but you're going to think about all those muscles being tight, 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 tight in your calves. Now that little ball of energy that's been going around is going to help relax those calves completely, and it's going to melt away. It's going to feel as if just that little light, that wonderful energy that you started with in your core is just helping melt away all the tension. It's helping melt away anything that you're holding on to. And you're going to move into your thighs and into the backside, the hamstrings. You're going to hold those muscles. And similarly to your calves, it might not be that it's very, very much where we see it, but you're going to feel that energy. You're going to think about it. Those muscles, front side and the sides of the thighs and the back of the thighs, holding very, very tight, pulling all that energy into those thighs. And that little ball of energy that we started with in our core has gone into those legs and is going to melt away. That tension is going to take it. It drips right through the floor. It just melts right away, leaving just the light, leaving just the little energy, just that perk of excitement. Now the whole leg is relaxed. Your toes are relaxed. Your ankles are relaxed. Your calves and your knees are relaxed. And now into your thighs and your hamstrings are relaxed. You're going to move that energy, that tense energy is still around. And this time it's going to go into your pelvis and into your hips. And it's going to tighten the pelvis and your hips and your glutes Those glutes hold a lot of tension because they help walk and run and dance. So they hold a lot of tension. Everything goes into those pelvis, hips, glutes. And as that ball of energy comes along and helps melt away, that tension goes completely away. It melts right through the floor. It leaves just the happy light, just that ball of energy that started in your core. That ball is moving along the body to help relax, but it also needs to go into tension. So it moves into your low back. We're going to try to isolate just that low back and the low core, so those low abdominals, and we're going to feel those muscles in the low back and in the core tense up and hold all that tension you've had. Again, all that tension that's come with you over the semester, that's staying with you right now. In order to move along, we're going to let that ball of energy come in and help relax, take that tension away, and it melts into the floor. It just lets it trickle away. The tension releases through the floor, removes itself from those muscles, and just has that little light, just that beautiful ball of light and energy. Now we're going to move up further into the top of the back. You're going to feel your sternum area, the front side of your chest, all the way around to the back side of your upper back. All that is going to hold tight. You're going to feel that tension, and it really tenses up at the top. And as that ball of energy comes, it helps relax it and melts it away. That reaches right through the floor, and it feels just like everything goes right off the bones. It's left you with just the light energy. It's left you with a tingling happiness that's in your energy. The muscles aren't holding any tension. They've melted away. Now that tension still happens in the arms. So those arms are going to tighten up. You're going to tighten those arms. So much tightening through the arm. And that ball of energy goes starting from one arm to the other and lets that relax completely away. It melts right through the floor, leaving just the energy, leaving just your bones. Now that tension is still in your hands and your wrists. So that tension gets really tight through your hands and your wrists. Everything that you've been carrying around is in your hands and your wrists. And you're going to let that go. You're going to let all that tension that you've been carrying go. Let it relax. Let the light take it. And relax through the floor. how that tension is completely gone. Our legs and our feet are relaxed, and our pelvis and our back is relaxed. Our sternum and our arms and our shoulders are relaxed. Our hands are relaxed and our wrists are relaxed. But there's still some tension existing in our body. It's in our neck. So our neck is going to get that tension. Lots of tension in our neck. The little ball of energy comes along and helps that neck relax and lets that drip away. Just drip right through the floor into that neck muscles all relax. And our face muscles tighten up. We tighten so much in our face. All those muscles, there's so much going on in our face, and we hold so much energy and tension in our face at times. And as that ball of energy comes along, it takes that energy away and lets our face just feel like it's dripping open with relaxation. It drips right through the floor, it opens up, revealing that light being left. That ball of happiness, that ball of free, open, non-held energy. But instead, exuberant energy, soft, easy energy. Now that your body has opened up that space for the energy to flow, you're going to stay in this soft, rested feeling of relaxed energy. All the tension has melted out of your body. All of your muscles are completely relaxed. There's nothing held. Everything has melted away. And because of that, you can start to envision a dancer. That dancer is you. You start to see them in a location that you love, someplace that makes you so happy. That dancer is performing movement that you have wanted to do. It's either something that you've been trying to accomplish, that dancer is showing you you can accomplish. Or that dancer is performing through movement that you love and makes you feel happy. Watch that dancer. See what they do. See yourself moving in that dancer. Now take a moment to love that dancer. Feel them go into your heart, all that you are, all that you can be is in that dancer that you see. And there's only love for that dancer. As that dancer finishes up their movement, they get smaller and smaller as they get further and further away. But you're still left with the feeling that that dancer left you. The feeling of happiness, of accomplishment, of love. That dancer also changed that little ball of energy from a relaxed energy into an energy that's filled with life. It's filled with everything that will help you feel that last burst. And that little light of energy moves to your face. And that light is moving around your face and starts tingling those muscles, and those muscles come back into your face. You start feeling those muscles enliven, and they feel energetic. Now that light energy comes to your neck, and it gives that energy, that life into your neck. There's an exuberance that comes with that light that goes into your neck. Now that light trickles down into your shoulders and into your arms and gives life and gives a tingling happiness to your arms. You start feeling those arms coming back to life. You can even start feeling those arms make little tiny movements because they're so excited to be able to move with freedom. Your hands are starting to feel it. That tingling, that happiness, that ball of light is moving into your hands and your fingers. But without any tension, all those arms and those hands and your neck and your face, all those muscles are feeling light and feeling soft and feeling energy that just helps everything. That light moves into your upper back and into your chest and starts to enliven those muscles. And the light energy continues down into your low back and into your low abdominals. And it just feels like such happiness. It brings those muscles back onto those bones, but this time with energy and life. That light energy moves into your pelvis and into your glutes and into the low abdominals. It makes that energy feel exciting and fresh. That light energy is bouncing around, bouncing around. And that energy moves into your upper legs, your thighs, and your hamstrings. And it brings with those muscles happiness, joy, exuberance. Relaxed, peaceful energy. And that light energy goes into your calves, into your low legs, and it starts to feel that tingling. It feels that energy. It feels that life come back into your legs, to that low leg especially. It's making you feel ready to take on the world, to be that dancer that you saw, that you appreciated, that you loved. And that light energy reaches all the way down to your feet. You start to feel those muscles come back, feel life in your feet and your ankles. It makes them move, it makes them feel that wonderful energy with full and complete relaxation. Now that light energy is going to bounce around through your body. It's going to bounce around to wherever, and you can start feeling just that soft moving that it makes your body do. Keeping full of energy, keeping full of life. You start feeling those muscles take on some movement. But as they move, they feel free of tension. They feel wondrous. They feel engaged, but fully relaxed. Now that life, the tingling gets a little bit more active, gets a little bit more refreshed, and it makes you move lower. And you start to feel a wiggling happen in your body. A wiggling, wiggling, wiggling. But again, all that wiggle comes without tension. And it enlivens and brings that energy with it. And that wiggle makes you move all the way to one side or the other, and makes you feel like you curve into a little ball. But that energy is in the middle of the ball, and it's feeling that life. It's still feeling that growth. It's still feeling that energy of that dancer that you saw. That energy pushes you onto your knees and helps you feel that energy that keeps trickling your body up and presses you forward onto your hands and then onto your feet. It makes you walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. And as you come up, that energy makes you feel alive. I hope that that energy continues you through your finals and through your life. And anytime that you need this kind of moment where you are feeling heavy from your muscles that have been overworked or overtired, or feeling that they're just weighing you down, take this moment to relax and go through all those little muscles through your whole body that we hold on to too much. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves and focus on tensing them and then completely relaxing them. So that as we relax it, it's like everything just comes off and we're really just left as a skeleton. And then that energy that comes back, it's like a little feel that energy come back into your body so that when you're left with that energy, you're ready to tackle your world. I hope these different techniques of relaxation have really helped you to reinvigorate your soul and feel your body to really dance from inside. Take that dancer that you saw, take that dancer with you, see them and remember to love what you do. Remember to love yourself with how you dance. I'm Danashanti Harter Johnson, and I really hope you've enjoyed this webinar series. Do visit us again in the spring. We'll be doing several more of these webinar series. We'll be looking at a more focused view of careers in dance and have an in-depth conversation with many professionals. Thank you for joining us for the Wellness and Career Preparation for the Dancer webinar series.